Hi, good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good morning.
So much for joining us today. Sorry, I'm going to mask up real quick because we've got Trini here as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are always so excited to have Liliana on board with us to do our webinars because she is like the demo queen and always has so much to show us, and the hands-on is amazing. So we appreciate Liliana from Hale Hush being with us today. So thank you so much, Liliana. And before we get started, I just want to do a quick introduction. For those of you who are new to Alexander's Aesthetics, I am Wendy, and this is Trini, and we're from our Colorado office. And then we also have on the phone or on the webinar for Hannah from our California office. The California office is the first location. So Farhana's been with my mom in the California office for over 10 years. For those of you that have been with us for that long, have probably seen her name and all the look and feel of everything you see on social media and everything on the website. So it's always nice to have her on. You can actually see her face. So Alexander's Aesthetics is a wholesale distributor store for skincare supplies, but we are a lot more than just a supply store. We really pride ourselves in our partnerships with partners that we partner with, but Hale Hush is just an amazing example of the type of partners that we like to, that we carry. And a couple things about our partners and Hale Hush is we always are looking for products that are effective, affordable, trustworthy, and then on top of that, provide a really good education. We really want our clients, Hale Hush clients, to have that knowledge base that you need to learn all the products. And so that's why we are doing these webinars. We're hoping, once the COVID situation is more under control, we can start having hands-on classes again. But it sure is nice actually being able to do the webinars because we can reach so many people outside of just the local area. So that's just a little bit about us. Before we launch into the presentation, I want to point out a couple things in your control panel. Farhana put together some very nice documents for you to download. So I want to have you go to the handout section. We have the protocols, the product knowledge sheets for the products that we're going to be covering today from Hale Hush. She also put together a custom treatment worksheet, which is an open sheet that you can jot notes down, give to your clients for recommendations, sort of like prescription pad idea for products that you recommend for them, so that those are just some tools that you can use in your practice. So go ahead, you can download those while you're on the webinar today. And then the thing, we will be going through questions towards the end, and we would like to have everybody just go into the questions box, put in where they are calling in from, because we always like to know where people are joining us from. We love to feel the community, especially now when we're all so distant. So we have Fort Worth Beauty School is with us. Hi, Candace and the Fort Worth Beauty School. We have in Oklahoma, Atascadero, Raleigh, North Carolina, Southern California, Chicago, all over. So thank you so much, everybody, for calling in. Farhana and I will be on the background today, monitoring any questions, problems you might be having. So once we get started with presentation, we'll drop off. It will be in the background, and then we'll pop back on once we're ready for the Q&A. So Liliana, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to drop off, but I'll go ahead and get the presentation started.
Wonderful.
Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. Sorry, what we talked about. It's Liliana's anniversary today. For Dean and Esthetician. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 10 years. It's been very exciting. Never did I imagine that I would be here doing this for you 10 years ago. And here we are. So let's get started. I'm really excited to show you A little
Okay,
bit
let me
of,
share my
oh
screen.
yes, eye, lip, and Maskne treatment. We have a
Oops.
lot to cover today. I'm really excited for this particular webinar that I think we've never done before, where we've combined these two treatments together. So as you can see, yes, I see this beautiful slide. So eye, lip, and Maskne treatment with Hale Hush. We are the specialists for sensitive skin. If you are familiar with the line, you know that there are a lot of wonderful products within the line. It is a small and focused line, but what is so wonderful is that you can use it on all different skin types. And we're going to focus on how to treat the eye and lip area, as well as our bonus round of Maskne treatment, which we are experiencing so much these days, especially here in the West Coast, where a lot of our areas are still closed. So let's talk a little bit about the sensitive skin specialist. Hale Hush is known for revitalizing and strengthening sensitive skin, while it can calm and soothe and refresh redness and irritation. So those of us who are experiencing maskne right now, or general irritation or symptoms of acne, will be happy to be using these products during this time, because it will do so much good to relieve the redness, the inflammation, the irritation. Our roots are in oncology cosmeceuticals, but Hale Hush is literally the only professional skincare line to be used successfully on just about everybody, including sensitive skin. And if you have already taken our classes, you know that Hale Hush is a gluten-free line, that it is sulfate-free, it's paraben-free, and it has the highest level of testing anywhere around. It is a fantastic line, so if you know it, you love it. If you haven't used it before, you will fall in love with it, especially after today. So I'm going to show you a couple of wonderful treatments that you can use starting today on yourself and for your clients moving forward. So as you see, there's some notes in your handouts. You'll be able to write a couple of notes. We'll go over protocols for both of the treatments, and I'll give you some retail tips at the very end and incorporate so that you can better utilize our packages, our package pricing, as well as our a la carte items, so that you can pass on those savings to your clients. And of course, don't forget to put your questions in the chat so we can make sure that we answer them. And then as a bonus, I was told that if there are some tools that you would like to purchase, we can put a resource guide together for you with a discount code, so you can save a little bit of money on tools for your treatment room. So that was an added bonus. I'm very excited to tell you about that. So shall we get started? Let's start with the Maskne treatment first, because I know that's really popular. The unicorn tears we'll do towards the second half of our webinar. And I want to introduce you to a couple of products that, if you have these with you, you can follow along. So I've got Quiet Wash. I have the larger size, which is both back bar and retail. As two bonus items that you can have with you if you'd like to use them would be Clear Future Toner, as well as Mist Me. These are optional, but definitely wonderful ones for you to use during these demos. You're going to utilize your Hush Hydrate Gel, your Relief Bio Powder, and then for the eye treatment, we're going to use the Eye Mousse, and we're going to use the Brilliant Lip and Eye Serum. I have two because I am running low of one, so you're just going to use one for the demo, but I'm going to put those there for you so that you can see. And let's talk a little bit about Maskne. So I've been seeing a lot of posts in the last couple of weeks about contact dermatitis versus acne mechanica. So I did a little research on this to see what actually Maskne really is. What does it fall into? Is it contact dermatitis or is it acne mechanica? So the misconception that I found was that most people think it's contact dermatitis. So I brought my mask here. This one is courtesy of the fire department from Oakland. So I've got this mask on, and I've got it snug around my nose, under my eyes, and below my chin, and also behind my ears, as it's supposed to be worn. The misconception is that this mask will cause contact dermatitis, but contact dermatitis occurs when the skin comes in contact with a chemical that causes a reaction. So you would expect, if this mask were treated with possibly like bleach, a perfume, dye, some kind of additive, some type of chemical, oil, coating, an ingredient that's unfavorable to skin, something like laundry detergent, then once I take it off, I would probably have some form of contact dermatitis in those areas where the mask has touched my face. If you've got a little bit of the contact dermatitis and acne mechanica combined together, that is a recipe for disaster. So what the heck is acne mechanica? So I did a little research on that to see what's the best way to describe that. That is when frequent pressure and friction come across the skin to cause any kind of rubbing, any kind of squeezing, any kind of stretching of the skin. It can be complicated by pre-existing acne. So if you have a client who already has acne and has repeated use of the mask over and over again, you may see that result in acne mechanica on the bridge of the nose, under the eyes, behind the ears, and along the jawline. That's typically where we see it. So if they have a pre-existing condition of underlying acne, like a hormonal acne vulgaris or some other type of acne, you may see pustules, skin lesions, inflammation, papules, nodules around this area, especially down here under the chin, because as they're moving and the facial muscles are moving, these areas are starting to receive friction, stretching, pulling. So it is not the same as acne vulgaris. It is not hormonally charged. It occurs anywhere where there's friction, and the mechanical motion, not the intrinsic factors, is what causes this particular condition. So those of you who oftentimes may wear makeup and then wear a mask, you'll notice that maybe your mask has a little bit of makeup residue. You may notice on the bridge of the nose breakouts. You may notice thinning of the skin. So I looked at the different types of symptoms that we will see coming into the treatment room. So dry, scaly, flakiness, usually around the nose or tops of the cheekbones. Hives is another thing. Blisters, they may be oozing, they may be open sores with crusts. Dark leathery skin, that I'm seeing definitely, excuse me, on the top of the nose. Skin that might have a burning sensation, severe itching, sun sensitivity, swelling or inflammation, ulcerations or cracking, tight, stiff skin, skin that sometimes has like a dark leathery appearance in certain places. That is what we typically will see with masks that have these types of a bit of a seam. You may notice that here, or you may notice it on the sides of the face. So acne mechanica is actually caused by clothing, sports equipment, even sedentary habits. I actually brought a pad that I can show you for those clients who may experience acne mechanica on the backs of the thighs or the buttocks. If they're sitting on different pads that have different types of textures, that can cause breakouts in those areas. Ticks, personal ticks, where somebody's constantly rubbing, tugging, or pulling the skin. Where clothing comes in contact, so you will see it as like in the bra strap area. A lot of skin tags, you may see acne mechanica appear there. Tight clothing that causes a lot of friction and heat and humidity in the skin. Those are going to be factors that will cause this type of condition. So remember, contact dermatitis is more of, there's 3 different types. There's allergic, irritant, and photodermatitis. Those are more of a chemical reaction. Acne mechanica is caused by the actual friction of the surface on the skin. So for the purposes of this class, we're going to define it as acne mechanica or maskne. So if you have these masks with you, you can follow along as well. You can use these as a demo, but you can feel free to put yours on during this webinar and then feel around your face and see if it's consistent with what your clients or what you are experiencing when you have this particular condition. So as far as treatment.
Liliana, can I interrupt just for a quick second? I just want to talk to the attendees really quick. If you cannot see Liliana, I stopped sharing my screen, so you can enlarge the screen on your device so you can see Liliana bigger.
Yes.
You should be able to do that. So in case anyone's seen her in a tiny little thumbnail,
Right.
just on your screen, you can enlarge it now to make it bigger. So let me know if there's any problems with that. Just
I
wanted
didn't put my HD makeup on, so I'm so sorry. I had a
Okay.
long night of celebration last night, so I brought my Cryo Cubes for that. So we're going to discuss, as far as the protocol, I've come up with 4 steps for helping to resolve this particular condition in your treatment room and for home care. We're going to cleanse, we're going to treat, we're going to protect, and then we're going to rest/breathe. So for cleansing, which will be our first step, we are going to use Quiet Wash. For our treatment, we're going to use the combo of Hush Hydrate Gel and Relief Bio Powder. For protection, we are definitely still going to use the Hush Hydrate Gel. And then for rest and breathing, that will be a different step I'll show you. The 2 bonus items that I have included are the Clear Future Toner and the Mist Me, and we'll get into how these are used for the different skin conditions that you may be experiencing. So these are going to be, this is your bonus round, so we're going to talk about those as well to incorporate. And then we'll go over how to put that all together as a package. So for products and protocols, this, if you want to follow at home, this is a fantastic opportunity. Make sure you have a bowl. You can have a smaller bowl and a little bit of water. So I'm going to do just a bit of water in my silicone bowl here. And for those of you who are doing this in the treatment room, you can possibly, I don't see why you wouldn't do this, but you can add it as a separate treatment, almost like an add-on to your service, or you can build a facial around this particular treatment using the protocols that we have on our website as well as in the Facebook group. And basically, you can decide where this fits in. I would personally do this in place of an exfoliating treatment within a facial if you are simply just wanting to treat the acne mechanica. And I find that's a really successful way to give somebody some relief, some visible results right away. So I put a little bit of water in my silver bowl, and I'm going to use a bit of Quiet Wash. You can use whichever tools you like. You can use your hands, or you can use a variety of tools. I've got the My Skin Buddy. We're going to use this. And then I'll also show you how to use the silicone scrubber. Some of you have my facial refresher tool, so I can show you how to use those. And then for our other treatments, we've got some other goodies for you. So if you're familiar with the Skin Buddy, you're going to want to use the first setting. So I'm just going to use a tiny bit of Quiet Wash, and I'm going to wash my face here so you can follow along. And sitting on my towel. So for those of you who use the Skin Buddy, it's the first setting, easy peasy, and you can add a little bit more water if you need it. This is the Ion Cleanse, and it warms up just slightly, has the red LED. You can use that for 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to abbreviate the service so that we can make sure we get all of the bits and pieces. So once you've cleansed the skin, 1 to 2 minutes using the Ion Cleanse setting, that's the first setting again. I'm just going to turn that off. You can rinse with either 4x4s, or you can use your cool towels. I like 4x4s today. And cool is best when you're using this particular protocol. And just for those of you who have not seen my demos before, I turn bright red. I flush very easily. So there's nothing wrong with me. That's just the way it is. So do not be alarmed if you see me turn a bright tomato pink. That's standard for my particular condition today. And once you've cleansed the skin using the My Skin Buddy, it lets the little makeup on there for you to see how much it's removed. There it goes. Skin Buddy is fantastic for removing makeup and residue. If you're using the silicone scrubber, the best way to do that is 1 drop on a damp face. We add a little bit of water. I'm going to show you 2 different ways on how to utilize your tools. You turn it on, and then you can use the silicone scrubber to remove. If you're doing a double cleanse and really want to make a service out of it, feel free to use 2 different tools as long as the client is not contraindicated for it. And you'll notice that it doesn't foam up too much. Sulfate-free products typically don't foam up too heavy. but I definitely feel it working. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to use a little bit of my 4x4 to remove any residue, and there's still makeup coming off. So double cleanse if you feel necessary, especially if your client is wearing makeup. With the quiet wash, Mirabilis jalapa, you'll hear me in some of the training mention that particular ingredient. It's wonderful for calming the skin, especially reactive skin like mine. Helps with redness and itching. Very clean and refreshed. Now, I'm going to show you with the bonus. If you are oily like myself, I tend to get oily and a little grimy, you are welcome to use the Clear Future Toner in this step. Make sure you shake it to activate. Clear Future Toner is excellent for those of us who are more on the oily, congested, acne-prone side. If your client or if you are more dry, sensitive, Mist Me will be your choice. Do not use Clear Future Toner on dry or mature skin. It has salicylic acid in it, and it will not do what you want it to do. It will be a little too astringent and too drying for somebody who is on the dry, mature side. But for oily, acneic, someone who suffers from folliculitis, heavy oil production, Clear Future Toner is the one that you're going to use. So shake it to activate. I use it on a cotton pad, and then I just swipe down. And I will tell you, it's absolutely refreshing, and it's wonderful, especially for those of us who already have underlying acne issues. And it's still removing makeup. I really wish you could see this a little bit closer, but I don't know if you can see how gray that is, but stuff is coming off. This is like a miracle. This removes bad decisions. That's what I like to say at the end of the day. So you can treat with the Clear Future Toner for your oily acneic skin. For those who are more of the dry, mature, sensitive, reactive, you can use the Mist Me instead. So with the Mist Me to apply, you can spray directly on the skin. I like to spray it into a 4x4 and then do the same thing. You can also use the Skin Buddy with its attachment, the donut ring. And for those of you who are familiar with that, you would cut the SD wipe in half and then apply it with the donut ring on top. But for this purpose, I'm just going to wipe. You can also press into the skin. And let me tell you, it's still removing makeup. So that feels actually really incredible. I can't say I have a favorite. I love them both. But for my skin condition and type, Clear Future Toner is ideal. Mist Me for the dry, more mature, reactive. So once you've treated the skin, so we've cleansed already with the Quiet Wash, with the Skin Buddy and the silicone scrubber. We've done our treatment with the Mist Me and the Clear Future Toner. You don't have to use them together. I would say use them separate based on the type of skin that you are treating. So right now my skin feels really nice and lifted, feels a lot cleaner. You can now start to use your magic duo. So the Relief Bio Powder and the Hush Hydrate Gel. This is the magic formula. We'll talk about this in the retail section, but this duo is the one that does the magic. So in order to treat the area that is red, inflamed, irritated, itchy, has the pustules, possibly the lesions, if they're not open, make sure they're not open and weeping. Any of the acne mechanica symptoms, you would use Hush Hydrate Gel, depending on the size of the face, how much you're going to use. For me, I'm going to do about 4, 5, 6 pumps, maybe a little bit more, because I like it. And then the Relief Bio Powder, which is this guy. Remember, you open by twisting. So you twist the cap, don't pry it open. And then you can tap into there a couple of taps. I'm a little heavy-handed with mine. You don't have to go as heavy, but I like it. So tap a little bit in there and then use whatever your disposable implement is to mix. So I'm using the clear bowl so that you can see the color will change a little bit to a light green. You want to make sure you mix all of the little lumps of the Relief Bio Powder. So that's a nice smooth type of mixture. You're welcome to chill this mixture ahead of a treatment in a mini fridge or in an ice. If you do like a double boiler with ice is a nice way of doing it. But I like to just do it straight out of the bottle because it stays nice and cool. Once you have achieved a little bit of a light green color, when the skin has dried, you can apply directly on, and it is nice and cool, I can tell you that. I tend to get breakouts along the jawline and the bridge of the nose, so that's where I'm going to focus most of my efforts. Here's a pro tip that I can offer you for those of you who are doing this at home. You can put your Hush Hydrate Gel in the refrigerator about an hour or two prior to doing this treatment at home, and make sure that when you are using this blend for yourself or for your clients, make sure that this is completely absorbed before you put your mask on. Why is that? Because if it's damp, it will get on the mask and it won't stay on the face. So I'm just going to massage it in lightly. If you're using this as a mask treatment that will be removed later, doesn't need to be on too thick, but it will be a fantastic addition to your nighttime routine if you make sure that it's massaged in and absorbed fully. And if you are doing it during the day, make sure it's completely absorbed before putting your cloth mask on. That way you don't waste product and it actually starts to work. So right now I have the Relief Bio Powder and the Hush Hydrate Gel. I'm applying it, I'm massaging it in. The Relief Bio Powder has some calamine, which is an anti-itch ingredient. It's also antiseptic, astringent properties that help to heal the skin as well as conceal if you use it directly on the skin. And then the Hush Hydrate Gel has pearl powder, which will help detoxify and brighten the skin, and it will protect and hydrate as well. That black rice that you probably heard in the training, the heart of the black rice reduces damage to the skin, helps reduce redness, has neem for helping resiliency. So you can see it's absorbing pretty well, and I've massaged it in very gently. So if you're doing this as a treatment for your client, allow it to stay on the skin for about 10 to 15 minutes is ideal. And use anything you want. If you plan on removing it, cool towels or cool ST wipes are way better than hot towels. If you're allowing this to be left on the skin, make sure you've massaged it in so that it stays. So this is the protect. We've already done the cleanse, we've done the treat. This is the protect step. You want to make sure that it's fully absorbed, so before you put on the mask, so that it has a chance to sit on the skin. Now, if you are doing this in the treatment room and want to add the bonus of possibly green LED or with the My Skin Buddy and to do LED, here's a tip. The Relief Bio Powder has zinc in it, so it will, to a certain degree, reflect some of the LED light. So if you're doing this treatment and you want to use the green LED or the blue LED on your Skin Buddy, do not mix the two in that step. What you would do, and I'll just demo this on top. This is a nice little modification for those who want to use the Skin Buddy. Have a little bit of the gel. Now I've already put some of the Relief Bio Powder in that first layer. If you want to modify and use the Skin Buddy, don't mix them together at that step. What you would do is just apply the Hush Hydrate Gel, and then with your Skin Buddy, you click on to either blue or green. Green is my personal favorite. And then you can massage in the product with just a couple of minutes using the My Skin Buddy and the Hush Hydrate Gel. This is a modification. Again, if you don't want to just leave it on the skin, you want to get a little bit more absorption, do not mix with the Relief Bio Powder. So if there's a question about that, make sure that you put that in your notes. If you want to make this into a longer treatment, just start with the Hush Hydrate Gel for the protect step. and omit the Relief Bio Powder at this point, but you can reintroduce it later. So once you've done that, you can do about anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes on this step. I'm going to click that off for you. If you wanted to add the Relief Bio Powder back in, you could do it at this step. And all it takes is squeezing out a little bit more. I'm going to be very hydrated after this. And put a few taps of the Relief Bio Powder inside. You can mix it with your hands and then massage it into the skin. This you could use as a mask, as a treatment, or you can leave it on. Make sure if you are doing this as a treatment for your client, you apply SPF if they're going to go outside without a mask, just to protect their skin further. So for a at-home treatment, if you do the Relief Bio Powder and the Hush Hydrate Gel together, your clients can mix the two, apply onto the skin, and leave on for 15 to 20 minutes. So I call that the rest. So have them do this about 2 to 3 times a week. They can do it daily if they want, if their skin is that irritated. But 2 to 3 times a week is perfect and ideal for home care. So as you are retailing the 2 items together, which we'll talk a little bit about the best way to package those. If you're retailing these 2 to your client to take home, encourage them to do this 2 to 3 times a week. And anytime they're going to wear their mask for an extended period of time, they can apply this and let it absorb before they put their mask on. So this will be part of their morning routine. As far as where it fits in a morning routine protocol, it's really that simple. They would cleanse with quiet wash. They would use either of their the mist or the toner if that is appropriate for their skincare. If this is not in their skincare and they're using a different product like Soothe Essence or Rare C, they can apply those serums first, and then they would finish with the Relief Bio Powder and the Hush Hydrate Gel mixed together. Leave it on the skin, let it absorb, and then put the mask on. Hope that's very clear. Now, if you're in the treatment room and you have reached this step, you have a variety of things you can do. I personally like doing the Cryo Cubes, and we'll use these in the unicorn tier segment I'll show you. But this is very helpful to help reduce any redness or inflammation and do a little bit of a lymphatic drainage for your clients. If you've not done lymphatic drainage, there's lots of different classes out there. I believe Alexander's has classes. Wendy, you might be able to fill me in on that. But it is a wonderful tool to help drain excess fluid. So you can do that at this point. Make sure that the mask is fully absorbed, and then you can apply your SPF for your client if you're doing that in the treatment room. So let's talk a little bit about retailing these products to your clients. If you don't already know, Alexander's has the BioRelief Duo. So it's the 1.7 ounce Hush Hydrate Gel and the Relief Bio Powder. So if you were to buy the Duo, you save $11 off of the a la carte price. So it comes out to about $24.95 for the pair. So you could retail this for $48.95, let's say $50. You can retail the Duo to your client that they can use, and they will get a lot of use out of this. Now, if you wanted to upsell a little bit, add either the 3 or the 6 ounce quiet wash, and your price could vary by about $22. So for the Duo plus a 3 ounce quiet wash, you could retail for about $70 to $75. And that would be a complete routine for them because they would be able to cleanse, they would be able to treat and heal in just 3 steps. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit more, you could also incorporate one of the mist or the toners. And altogether, if you were to do the 3 ounce, this is the 6, but if you did the 3 ounce, the Duo, and one of the liquids, you could probably make a set for about $103 to $105. So if your client wants the maximum in comfort, you could do a mist or the toner, quiet wash in the 3 ounce size. You can upgrade them to a 6 ounce, and the Relief Duo. So by packaging them together, you save a little bit of money, and then your client gets a complete set. So if you were to do a $105 special or $100 special, you could easily do with the smaller wash a whole complete set for your clients. So when you are packaging something, think in terms of how do you save them a little bit of money and make it easier for them to have the whole line. So look into doing the Relief Duo, which you'll find on your product pricing sheet, and you'll find it on our website as well as in the Facebook group under the Files tab on how to best utilize your savings for these types of products. Most people will find that if you get them on two, they're going to want the wash as well and probably one of the liquids. So it's an easy sell. It's a wonderful way to help relieve Maskne or acne mechanica, and then your clients will absolutely love having everything set for them, and they'll spend less than $120 for a complete set. So with that being said, I think we should cover a couple little pro tips before we move on to the unicorn tiers. So when you are retailing to your clients and you want to upsell to the 6 ounce, have them wash their masks with the quiet wash rather than with detergent. Detergent will probably make the contact dermatitis issue that we talked about come back. So if you have your cloth masks, or these are antimicrobial layer masks, use about 2 pumps of quiet wash into a small or medium-sized bowl and wash your masks with the quiet wash instead of with detergent. When you want to refresh a cloth mask, Mist Me is excellent for that. So all you have to do is just give it a couple sprays. I like to do both sides, and then let it air dry. This is an excellent way to refresh your mask if you have to take it off, like for dining, or if you are receiving a treatment, or if your client's receiving a treatment. A nice little bonus is to take their cloth mask and give them a couple of spritzes. Let it air dry in your treatment room so that when you are done with the treatment, your client can put this back on. It will be refreshed and have a nice smell to it without being perfumey or heavy. And so that is one thing I like to recommend, and that's something I do in the treatment room. Is when a client does come in, I allow them, I put it in a small container and encourage them to spray their masks down before they exit so that it feels nice and refreshing. Another pro tip that you may want to pass on to your clients is to have them not apply makeup in the area in which the mask is going. So if your mask is going like such, avoid makeup in the lower half, especially if they've done the Relief Duo, because that will further exacerbate the symptoms, especially on the nose and along the jawline, where makeup tends to collect once with sweating and activity and friction. We see a lot more damage here from makeup and friction than anywhere else on the face, unfortunately. And then if you have the ability to chill your Hush Hydrate Gel in the treatment room, or for your clients to do so, it makes something very refreshing in case they're feeling a little bit of irritation on their skin. So that being said, I'm going to move a couple things over, and we're going to talk about the unicorn tears treatment. If you have been with us for a while, you know a little bit about the unicorn tears treatment. It was dubbed so because of the brilliant eye and lip serum, which has a beautiful halolucent iridescent look to it. And we've paired it up with the eye mousse. This can be done with the Skin Buddy. It can be done with the facial refresher tool. I like to use Cryo Cubes as well. And then for those of you who are big Shelley Hancock fans, you know she has MBK, the Eye Rejuvenator. You can use any of these tools. You can use hands, you can use brushes, you can use stones, whatever you prefer. So I'll show you a little bit of a demo. So my under eye area is clean, so I'm not going to go over that particular step. But what I do like to do, and this is a little personal trick of mine, is I'll take a little bit of Mist Me, and I will mist my fingertips, or in this case gloves, as we have to wear gloves, and I'll do a light touch right before I start on this particular protocol. So for the unicorn tears, we can do eyes and lips at the same time. It's a wonderful way to incentivize your add-on menu and to give your clients a little bit of refreshment, especially now since most people, that's all you see are their eyes and their forehead. So what I like to do when I'm doing this is I'll use a little bit of Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum. A little bit goes a long way. I use a tiny right size amount. There it is, and it will spread and open, and I use very, very little. So I'm gonna dot on this side here and on the lips this Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum. And a little goes a long way, and I still have some left over. So with the Skin Buddy, you can use a variety of settings. I particularly love, if I can get it here, the heat setting that doesn't have lights, but you can use the red setting, which is fantastic. And you literally can get it right up into the orbital bone. You can go above, right over the brow bone, and it's super gentle. It feels amazing for the eyes. For the lips, you would go right over the lips with this. And it actually feels really nice. It will plump the lips. I have another little tip I can give you. It tickles a little bit, so if you have a really sensitive client, feel free to do like a collagen lip mask on top, and it feels amazing.
Liliana, which setting are you on the Skin Buddy for that?
I'm on the, I believe it's the 4th setting, so it's just the heat, no light. But you can, red is the highly recommended one because that's more anti-aging. But I like the heat a little bit more intensely, and it feels like it's plumping everything. Always remember when you're doing these types of tools, heat first, cold later, or heat first, cold later, if you're watching in reverse. The reason being is you're going to stimulate, you're going to get those capillaries open, products are going to be absorbed, and then you want to reduce any inflammation that you may be causing with heat, so that's why you want to do the cold at the end. If you have the MBK, the Eye Rejuvenator, you can get right up into that, bone, right into the little socket, and then click on over around the eyes. You can do both eyes. With the Eye Rejuvenator for the lips, you can do the microcurrent will go right over, they call the smoker's lines, and then lift everything in the nasolabial fold. And because it's nice and cooling and you can feel it, this will help tighten up those areas that tend to sag, especially if we're seeing people who are coming in with a little bit of weight loss during this pandemic. They're going to start to sag just a tiny bit. So this will help get them nice and firm in that area. And you can do it directly on the lip line if you're using the MBK. You can also do with the My Skin Buddy right over the lips, which is why that tool is pretty fantastic. Those of you who have the facial refresher tool, I think Candace has one. I think there's a few of you who have it. You can use the metal tip and you can go right over the lips. Any of the settings, 1 through 4. And then for the eyes, you can use the side and lift up. Boy, I really have to do the other side because I'm gonna have a saggy eye. So you can get it right up into as close to the lash line as possible with the facial refresher tool. You can do the same with almost any of the others. The Skin Buddy will get a little bit close, so make sure you don't get right up into the eye. But I don't know if you can see how much lifting I'm getting on this side. It's my wonky eye. So once you've done that particular treatment and you still have a little bit left, Cryo Cubes, Cold Hammer, Ice, Rose Quartz Stones. I have Rose Quartz Marbles that just came in that are fantastic, that can be frozen. And I like the Cryo Cubes because it will kind of seal the deal for you. Once you get it right in there, you can do it over the eyelid if you want, which will be a little bit cool, but if you have a client who can handle it, it's fantastic. You can also do the lips. The lips with the ice will turn everything a little bit pinker. So if you have somebody who's got those sallow lips that aren't pink enough, ice is going to be your friend. And it's absorbing really well. I don't see too much of a shine, but here's the kicker. The eye mousse will reduce the appearance of the iridescence. This is why these two together make so much sense. So the eye mousse retails for $38.50, and the Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum retails for $51. So feel free to package and get creative with those two. I am going to be running promotions like with the eye mousse and the facial refresher tool. You can do like get one of the products at a slightly different rate with any of the tools. Throw in a Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum if somebody buys 3 My Skin Buddies for Christmas, something really fun like that, that will help move your bottom dollar. So I like to use the eye mousse as a topper, only around the eyes. If you have the eye mousse and you're doing the Bedazzle Revitalize treatment, this is what you would use around the inside of the nose and around the lips as a protectant. It's very occlusive, but it's super, super light, so you don't feel like you have something heavy. So let me go over the protocol quickly for you. You can do this as a treatment, as a standalone. I retail this treatment for $35, and I do about 15 minutes. You can add it on to a service, or you can tack it on to a facial if you'd like. You would cleanse the skin with Quiet Wash. You can mist your fingers with Mist Me. Get your fingertips or gloved fingertips and tap a little Mist Me over the eyes. Then you would apply the Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum over the eyes. Use your tools of choice. You've got plenty here that I can show you for your microcurrent or for your massage. Once that's been absorbed, you can do it for eyes and for lips. You can add other things like a gel mask. You can do cold cubes. You can do brushes, however you like to do your lymphatic drainage, or just a little bit of massage. You do a little bit of the cold to seal everything, and then your eye mousse for your topper. You do not have to do it around the lips. You can do the eye mousse around the mouth for those smoker's lines if you want to add a little bit of lip lifting. If you have a client who has pigmentation from hair removal around the lip, absolutely eye mousse right over that area. It's going to help nice and brighten. They can do 2 steps for home care, which would be the eye mousse and the Rare C Serum. So Rare C Serum around the mouth just to brighten up that area, especially if they have pigmentation from eyebrow waxing, lip waxing, and then finish off with a little bit of eye mousse around. It's a really nice trick. Been doing that on a specific client of mine who's had lots of pigmentation there, and it's been brightening with the Skin Buddy. She's seen wonderful results. If you are using a tool for infusion, do that during your Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum application. That's where it's going to work the best and it's going to have the most impact. So if you are using other items with your products with this particular protocol, such as gel masks, the lip, silicone lip pads, eye treatment pads, those little collagen stickers, all of those things can be done prior to eye mousse. Does that make sense? If you have questions, please put them in there. And so now you can see I'm lifted, I'm brighter. This side looks a little sad. I'm gonna work on it later. But it has this oxygenating feeling from the eye mousse that I feel like my eye is a lot more lifted. It feels more open and more awake without having to do a lot. I do 15 minutes, like I said, for $35, but I get more involved and spend a little bit more time with the heat and with the cooling. And it feels so much smoother than before. I really wish there was a way for you to touch my face because it feels amazing. But if you're doing a duo together, eye mousse retails for $38.50 and the Brilliant Eye and Lip Serum retails for $51. So I'm sure all of you creative minds out there can come up with something really fantastic with that. I would recommend with tools or with a treatment, or have a package. I do a package of 6 eye treatments, and then they get the Cryo Cubes included for free. So something like that to be creative, to get your clients in, especially for around the eyes and for the lips with all the masks that we've been wearing. This will help brighten, and it's a nice, easy treat, doesn't break the bank, and you get nice results.
Awesome. Thanks, Liliana.
Welcome. I was trying to think of any other little tips.
Looking beautiful. We have a lot of questions.
Yes, I'm ready for questions.
All right. First question is, can you use a cotton pad over the My Skin Buddy, or is that not necessary?
A pad, like a cotton pad is what I'm assuming?
That's what she said, yeah, cotton pad.
Yes, you can. And if I could reach it without knocking it over, I can. Pray that I don't knock everything over, but I will show you briefly. The way to do that, yes, you can use a cotton pad. I like to use SD wipes, and here's my donuts. I call them donuts. They are included in your, let's see, a good way to see it there. They are included in your My Skin Buddy kit. And I would recommend the 2x2s instead of the 4x4s. And unfortunately, I don't have a pair of scissors here, but if you do use the 2x2s, or you fold your 4x4 in half, you can wrap it right over the dial, put the donut on, or that's what I call it. I don't know if that's what Gada calls it, but I'm gonna flatten it actually. You would just put the little donut attachment on top, and you can see it right there. I know it's a little hard to see. And then you could literally just spray it on. And you use the first setting. You see that it lights, and I'm gonna do it on my neck here. And it feels really, really nice, I have to say. I regret not doing this more often. But you can spray your cotton round or your 2x2 with whatever product toner you want. Mist Me is what I'm using. And then turn it on to the first setting. And it does amazing. Took off my self tanner. But yes, you can do that. And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful tool. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm telling you, you are the demo queen.
You can see.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, I sure can.
That's my self tanner. It's gone now. So I have a nice
wow.
look, but it works.
Nice. Okay, we have a question about the Hush Hydrate Gel and the Bio Powder Duo that you would recommend someone to use at home. How often would you recommend someone to use that combo at home?
2 to 3 times a week is ideal. So I tell my clients Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make it really, really easy. So if they're experiencing really bad symptoms and they're feeling irritation, dryness, flakiness, all of the symptoms, I tell them Monday, Wednesday, Friday night. Make that part of their routine before bedtime. If they're feeling mild, light, moderate symptoms, and they feel good otherwise, and they're seeing improvement, Tuesday, Thursday. I keep it really, really simple. They can mix it in just seconds. They can mix it in their hand with a couple of pumps, a couple of taps, massage it in really well, smooth it on the face, let it dry, and night-night. That's pretty much the easiest thing in the world. It only takes like 3 minutes to do it. So if they can incorporate it into their nighttime routine, they would do their cleanse, they could do this, and they can call it a day. If they have serums that they want to incorporate, they'll do the serums before the Relief Duo and the Hush Hydrate.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, next question. What is your opinion on possible fungus caused by the mask that you wear? And if you feel this might possibly become an issue, what products would you recommend?
So I'm not one who can diagnose in that case, but I have had one client in the 7 months who has contacted me who may be experiencing a fungal infection. We do know he does not wash his mask. And I think it's a combination of 3 things. Contact dermatitis, because he's been using a different chemical rinse. He won't wash the mask, but somehow it gets in the UV cycle of his dryer. At least that's what his mother was telling me. And I believe that that wasn't enough to kill the bacteria that's on the mask. I think he also has a dietary issue, but he's not yet diagnosed with that yet. But I think he has a 3-pronged effect, and this is the only person I've seen in this amount of time who may be experiencing candida, contact dermatitis, because there's a coating on the mask that we noticed was made the mask very shiny, a material that just didn't look really right to us, and has acne mechanica on top of an acne condition. Grade 2 acne. So it could be possible if you're not cleaning your mask, if you're allowing humidity, if you've already got candida and it's made it worse by wearing masks and not cleaning them. Get a diagnosis from a doctor first. But if they're just trying to treat the outward signs of what's happening with their acne mechanica, then everything we talked about would be the Hush Hydrate, the Relief Bio Powder. If they're very oily, congested, already have acne, Clear Future Toner may be a better treatment. Miss Me would be ideal for somebody who has more of the sensitive, dry, reactive already underlying. So doctor diagnosis first. If they say it's not fungal and that it's acne mechanica, then everything we talked about today would work. The only difference would be if it's oily, reactive skin, the difference would be which toner would be used. So that would be quiet wash first, one of the liquids, depending on what their condition is. Clear Future Toner for oily acneic skin, Mist Me for dry, sensitive, mature skin, and then the duo. That's what I would recommend. But doctor diagnosis first to make sure that it isn't fungal or candida. But that's funny. I would expect more people to have that concern, but I have yet to see more than one.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, good. Would this regimen also be good for hormonal acne? Shannon would like to know.
So hormonal acne, you could, that's such a touchy, like, you know, those who have PCOS, I've been seeing more and more clients with PCOS and more acne vulgaris coming in on top of acne mechanica. This will help, but if you have an underlying issue with hormonal acne and a dermatologist is guiding the process, follow those instructions. This will help for sure. But somebody who has underlying acne issues, this acne mechanica is going to be on top. It's going to be another symptom that they're going to have to deal with. So you have to handle the intrinsic and handle the extrinsic at the same time, which this will help. But if somebody is experiencing a hormonal breakout, like that was happening before this was happening, and that's, you can tell the difference. Dermatologist first. If you can't tell the difference which one is coming up, I'd still say have a dermatologist and find a really good one who can, you know, help you figure out which one is what's causing what. Because you can't treat one without knowing the cause. What people thought was contact dermatitis, now we're finding is probably more acne mechanica. So you can't treat them both the same way. So doctor diagnosis first. If the person suspects that it's hormonal, this will just help those outward signs, but you still have to get to the underlying root cause.
Okay, great, thank you. A question, we'll do a couple more questions. Is the Eye Rejuvenator safe for those with metal in their mouth?
Like metal fillings, yes, I have metal fillings, the old school ones, and I have not experienced a problem. I have not experienced a problem with the my Skin Buddy. When in doubt, I would ask whoever put the metal in the mouth. So if it's a dentist, you would always just ask the dentist if it's safe. But we have not had any issues with that. If it's metal implants in the face, then I would say it's contraindication. But metal fillings, no problem. I've not experienced anybody having any issues. If it's more metal than a filling, I would say ask the physician or the dentist who did the implant or had put the metal in the mouth, just to be on the safe side. But I would lean more towards contraindicated, just to be safe.
Okay, great. All right, I think we can take one more question and then I'll do a little wrap up. How much are you talking to your clients about Maskne and health?
They are coming to me almost daily. They're coming to me almost daily with questions like, I never had a breakout, but look, all of a sudden I have this. And then we go through all of the steps, all of the things that they're doing. What kinds of masks are they using? Like, I like the antibacterial synthetic ones versus the cloth masks, and I'm finding that the more cloth masks, even though they're breathable, are causing more of the problem. So the synthetic ones are fine. And I find, I'm going to show you real quickly over here, that we found a nice solution for those who do have cloth masks and are having this issue are these cages, these like silicone flexible cages, where you can put them on first and then put your mask over, and some have little clips to hang. So we're finding little solutions the more that we talk to our clients. It's literally almost every single day. I'm here in the shop doing some kind of work 6 days a week. And in that 6 day a week period, I'm having this conversation, I would say almost daily, maybe one day off. But we're finding solutions that will help. So their overall concern is bad breath from the masks and also the occasional breakouts. So little things that we're doing to help them along has been working, but this has become a daily conversation. So I did a lot of, in the last 3 weeks, I did a lot of reading to find out what are people finding, what are the symptoms, what are they doing to protect themselves, what are they doing so that their skin will feel better. And we've come up with these steps, possibly, you know, this little cage to keep things off of the face, and switching the masks around. I switch mine 3 times a day just to keep them clean, and I wash them all the time with my quiet wash. So yes, it is a regular occurrence. I'm learning so much. I learned 3 things today that I didn't know since yesterday. So things like that, we're going to keep having this conversation until we stop wearing masks. So who knows how long we'll have to wear masks wherever we are, but it is bringing up a lot of different concerns. But the one that I didn't realize was the mask breath, which is a new one for me. So take your mints, drink a lot of water. Dehydration is another big issue too. People feel like because they're wearing masks, they're not drinking enough water. And they find themselves basically just doing half a face of makeup and then forgetting to cleanse. And so little things like that, as we're learning these habits, keep coming up. But until we stop wearing them, I think this conversation is gonna keep going. We're gonna have more things that we're gonna learn as time goes on.
Great. Liliana, thank you so much.
You're welcome so much. This is exciting. I learned a lot already.
Yeah, we did too, as always. We had quite a few questions about either people that got, you know, kicked out, or they had internet issues and wanting to repeat steps. And I think the best way to do that is I'm just going to go online and show people where they can find previous webinars so they can rewatch it. And then also for everyone to know, you will get an email. Usually it's a couple hours after we close down the webinar. You'll get an email that will have a link to the recording, and you can rewatch that for free at any time. So I'm just going to share my screen really quick and see if you can see. Can you see our website?
I do. I see your website.
Great. Okay. So for those of you, I just want to point out, first of all, where you can find Hale and Hush on our website, and also where you can go to all the recordings from our previous classes. Like I said, we are Alexander's Aesthetics. We have 2 locations, one in California and one in Colorado. So if you're in the California, you're going to be serviced by the California store, you want to click on the left side. We're serviced by the Colorado store, you click on the right side. So we'll go ahead and just click. Let's say we are in Nebraska. We'll go ahead and click on there. It'll bring you to the California website. A couple things you can browse by brand. These are all the brands that we carry, and here is where we have our Hale and Hush products. You can see that we don't have any prices listed. You have to have an approved account with us. We only sell to licensed estheticians. We do not sell direct to customers, just as, you know, we follow everything Hale and Hush does. So you have to have an approved account from us to be logged into our account to see the pricing and to order these products. So that's where you can find all the Hale and Hush products that we have. And then I also do want to point out that we do everything the same that Hale and Hush does. So in terms of, you know, every month they have 3 products that are 10% discount. So we offer that as well. And any specials that they're running, we do that as well. For future, if for some reason you don't get the email, or you know, it gets lost in your email, you can always go back to our website under classes. And under here is where we have our webinar library. You can view all the previous webinars. These are all the webinars that we've done since the shutdown. So we have them all listed here. These are all the recordings. So we will move this one down here towards the end of the day or tomorrow morning. Click on any of these. There's actually quite a few from Hale and Hush, and we have one in here also Liliana did during the shutdown, and it's really long. It was great. I think it was this.
Oh yes, I remember that.
She had so many tools and tips and tricks, and because we were in shutdown, no one was working. We stayed on for a long time. So if you guys want to look at some of her previous webinars that she's done with us as well, but you can view that there.
So exciting.
So to point that out to everyone, I'm gonna pop back on. And if anyone has any further questions, we're available for you. And give us a call, send us an email. We're happy to answer all your questions. And Liliana, thank you so much, and congratulations again on your 10-year.
Thank you. And I just want to extend that the some of the suppliers who have the tools are going to give me a resource link for the MBK tool. Has a discount code with my name on it. Hale Hush, we retail and wholesale the My Skin Buddy, so there's a code for that. And then I have a limited amount of facial refresher tools at 10% off that I can start sending if somebody's interested in those. And then there's like any resources, and same for the Cryo Cubes. For those who attended the class, I'll extend discounts, and then I'll be able to provide you with a list of the different tools with their prices and the discounts for those who
Thank you. And for Hana and I were texting about that, and she will put together a list and email that to the attendees as well. So once that, if you can just share it with us, we'll
absolutely.
Everyone. Okay, that's so great. Yeah, I love all your tools. Everybody wants all of them.
You have a whole collection. That's
we can just do a tool webinar with you.
I actually have been asked several times in the last couple of weeks to do the manual tools. I have the rose quartz marbles for the eyes. It just came in literally last night. And I have very limited supply, the Cryo Cubes, and I'm working with a tea blender. She's a cheap lead. That we're going to do poultices for the eyes, a limited edition for that for the fall and winter. So there'll only be, I think, about 50 of those sets that are going out because they will be made for eye treatments and really gentle. And they're featuring my teas that I have. And we're just going to do all sorts of fun things. We have to get creative during this pandemic to keep our businesses going and keep alive and learning, because there's so much more that we're experiencing with all of this. It's, we shouldn't be wasting our time. We really should be elevating our game as an industry, and this is a perfect time to do it.
Yeah, it is. Well, thank you for passing along your knowledge.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, and hope to do it again with you soon.
Absolutely.
And everybody stay healthy.
Yes.
And we're here for you if you need anything, so give us a call. All right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.